to this screen is when you go to the lobby, and then on the left-hand side, there is the monitoring tab. Those all you know. And then here is a good example of a subtask that is failed. So you see that you get the status error. It's all there is a little color in red, and it says also, if you have a look here, where's my mouse? You see that the how do you call it? The logs shows what happens, and the latest log represents always the latest status. Now in this case it's an error, but it could be also how do you call it, or just a normal status.
Completed.
Yeah, completed, or just awaiting running, whatever. Could be also suspended, for example. I think you also know how to jump between main process and a sub-process. That's by clicking on the instance ID, as you see here, or even a form. Form is the same principle. Then you've got the different type of IDs. You've got the source ID, the parent ID, and the instance ID. In our case, parent and source will always the same, because there is no deep level. There's no deep. Yeah, there's no recurring subnodes. And then the instance ID is the current process that we're following. That's really important, especially for you, Levin, when we do some when you log some tickets at the IMS portal. That sometimes we need to know which process.
Yeah.
That's not only for us, but it's more in general when you're doing support. It's better to provide these instance IDs, otherwise it's looking for a needle in a haystack, right? And then we've got also the context, where you can actually see and which data has been passed between every artifact. That's also nothing new for you, I think, right? Any questions?
Well, you can search on instance ID then.
Yeah.
It provides.
Yeah. So if I go back to this one, you see that there is a filter above. You see that there is an instance.
Maybe still one question.
Yeah.
We can test with emails on system test as well or not?
Test the email service, not with already giving error, let's see, in test. Insist it works.
Yeah. So the thing is, why do we have here send notification failed? Is that the question?
Yeah, partly it's triggered by me.
Yeah. 9 chances out of 10, it has to be something to be with the mail destination where the password has expired or is wrong. If it is not so, then it means that there is no recipient. And if it's something else, then you need to know. You need to check. You can actually.
But it's possible. It's not that the reason that the error is there because there is no setup to do so. It should be possible. Yeah, it should be possible. Okay. Because you see that the other, for example, the other subprocess, it was running. Running. It was still running.
Yeah. And to have a look at what's exactly going wrong, just open up the open up.
Yeah, I opened it, but I didn't understand it. Yeah.
Do you want me to have a look right now?
No. The question was really if it was possible at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay. Right. Then next we've got the control tower. Control tower is mainly for So what do you want? Sorry.
Which action we need to do if it cancels there, if it's an error. It depends.
Yeah, it depends actually on what you want to achieve. So imagine, let's say that the password of the mail destination has expired, right? So you will never be able to send mails until you have resolved that issue. Imagine you have resolved the issue, the password is right, the mail destination works. Then you can try, you can retry. You see here above, there is a retry button, and you can press retry, and it will try to send again the mail. If that doesn't work, then it means that there's still something wrong, and then you need to look up why it's not working. Perfect. All right, as I said, let's go to the control tower. Control tower, yeah, it's. I think I showed you this morning a screenshot of the control tower on the different types, but it's possible. It's mainly for the administrator to configure some small things. One of those things are the destinations. So it's in Subble Process Automation, we also use the terminology destinations. It's the same terminology as used in BTP on sub-account level. And what does it do? It just allows us to import destinations that are pre-created in BTP and to be used in Subble Process Automation. As you can see, one important thing is the environments. The destinations can be provided to be how do you call it, to be used in a specific environments. So imagine you've got 10 different environments. You could say for free tier DevCast production, you could say this is only for dev, this is only for cast, this is for production. Syst and test. Yeah, syst and test. So that's it. Then we've got the mail destination. A mail destination, how do we know that it works? This is so we have set up in BTP. This will automatically appear in the control tower on the mail server, and then you can send a mail destination by a test mail by testing the SMTP server configuration. So if you send a test mail, then you will get a test mail coming from the destination. So that's that. Then we've got environment. As I said just before noon, environment, the public environment will become deprecated in the near future. So don't use it. Use only shared environments instead. So that means that that means too that for example, you will start a new project in the future. You will have to create a new environment, because you will not, you don't want to deploy everything in product request environment. You want to deploy it in, I don't know what you want to do. In the environment, in the shared environment, you get an overview of deployed project triggers, variables, visibility scenarios. Visibility scenarios, of course, you need to set it up first. Process and workflows, and then also assign rights to user groups. And the last one is really important, because when submitting a request via the SAP UI5 form, as a user, you will be submitting it with an API request, and you need to be part, as you are authenticated versus the sys. You need to have the right role, and when you have the right role, you need to also have the right and that is why you assign it here. You see that the product requester can execute, and stock management and purchaser, and all those groups they can execute the request. Environment.
Yeah.
Kijk, control tower.
Environment, and then in the product request.
Yeah, product request. And then there is a share button above on the right, and that's where you will see the screen.
Okay.
And then this is where this is, for example, an example of what will happen when you cannot submit a request to perform this action. You need privilege execute, and from there on, this comes. So you need to provide the authorization with the user group. I've flew over the shared environment over the different things. Do you want me to go in depth over the different things, or is that clear for you?
Here?
Yeah.
Maybe in short, go over it. Dat er juist niet mooi zeggen dat ze vlot.
Yeah. We've got some technical issues. You don't see my screen, right? No.
Put it out.
Which I've done.
Okay.
Do you need to go?
No.
I still don't get so like the sound pickup. There's no sound on my PC.
Wordt hij opgeladen? Als hij staat?
Maar ik heb die zelf in mijn lader gestoken. Kijk.
Oké, maar even tekenen.
Just plug in the HDMI cable into your personal device.
Ja, oké, ik snap het. Maar... dat kan niet zo. En wat is verschil tussen die twee? Dat is dit weer.
There's no device connected, it says over here. Okay.
Ik ga snel aan.
Ja, maar ik heb je ook net op duplicate gezien. Dus ik weet niet wat.
Ja, dat kan natuurlijk bewijzen.
Oké, goed. So, yeah, the control tower. Let's show you. Ja, ik weet het. Right, so the control tower, and then we can go to as I said, the email server, where you can access the email server in Right. Okay. I don't know why I need to this second. So here you can see that if you're interested, it's available in the I will just move out to it. We'll get the email. And then that's the area for the problem. Okay, that's separate request. This is so here you see all the projects you have deployed in environments. Leads. So you will see also 5 leads. 5 things for each project one.
You created them here and then use them inside the process.
No. They are created when deploying for the first time. Deploying the process for the first time, and every time you deploy again, it will just update automatically. So you don't even create a here. Because if I try to add it here, I could do it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, look, I cannot put an API to it. I could say shadow, but I don't think that's for automation. Yeah, I don't. Okay, yeah, I could trigger a process. Yeah, this is really used for automations. So those are the processes, and then we've got automation launchers, and each management that is then unless how this done for the automations. Okay, we can use it. Then we've got the variables. Variables, yeah, those are the environment variables used in the project. And you can also edit them. This is something new since week. You can now change the values. So you can change all the different values and update it if you want. Earlier, you had to create it for your project. That's the problem. And then we've got the API keys used when we want to execute the different specific APIs. And then we've got the visibility scenarios. Yeah, at this moment this will be empty, but today or tomorrow, I don't know, this will be populated because we have deployed the visibility scenario. All right. Any questions? Right, let's go down to the next topic.
And where can we see this assign rights to user groups in Control Tower or?
Oh, what was the question, sir?
The last point about assigning the rights to the user groups.
Yeah.
That is in Control Tower or it will be in the CAS?
Yeah, no. So in both parts. So you need to as well you need to assign the user groups. You need to define user groups in CIS, and then put here the edit the share rights.
Okay.
And you see that all the groups that they can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, for example, I'm a supervisor, and then Suhaib, that's my colleague as well. Nico just can top up all the rest, just the executors.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Then let's go. Next topic. Okay. So, any questions? Then let's dive into Workzone. I think Workzone is a topic that has been not highlighted yet at the Converge site. So Workzone is, how should I call it? It's the service where you can define the content of your Launchpad. And basically, it is just it is just configuring the Launchpad and preparing it. Normally, you shouldn't be you will not make any changes to it except if you want to add a new tile, but that's it. Imagine you want to update it for one reason or another. Always update your channel manager first, because then it will pull the latest changes from Cloud Foundry. And then if you go,
Workzone is for myself to recap, so it's part of the same sub-accounts and with another subscription.
Yeah.
How do you get to the Workzone?
Well, via BTP.
Yeah.
BTP.
Yeah, always. That's always a starting point. I also navigate like that because I cannot remember the that's not email. That's not email. So then we go back to the Content Explorer, and then you need to update the Content Explorer with the update. You need to first select which HTML5 apps you want to update, and then you can just assign local apps. There is a difference between the HTML5 apps and the local channel. As you can see here on the right side, there is a local channel and the HTML5 apps. Local channel is actually a copy of the HTML5 app, where the how do you call it, where it's a copy and where there is some modification done, where there is a configuration done, for example, translations of the tiles in the different languages, French, English, and Dutch. So that's how it works. Normally, you only assign one space, you create only one space, and then you assign a page to it, and in the page, you can assign all the tiles how you want to have it. So, for example, here it's called follow-up, and then you see the inbox, and then below you'll see the product request and all the different tiles product request. How can you select one? It's just pressing the plus button you see there, and then you will get a screen like this, and then you can select the tiles you want. So that's easy. That's really straightforward. En ik wou dat die aan Ja, oké. So there is wacht. This is just a screenshot of the space. So you see that the pages is assigned to the space. Then you need to assign, you need to create the different roles, stock management, RLF, and so on and so forth. And then you say which app it can, which app it is allowed to see. So, for example, it can create a product request only for change stock management, and this is one important thing. You see that the panel navigator, this is by default. If this is not enabled, the panel navigator, then you will never be able to make a link between Planon and a request, either a change request or a creation request. So this needs to be done. And then you'll see that the role is also assigned to a space. Again, master data, it's always the same space. So this is it's pretty simple actually. Then we've got a local copy of an app. This is the product request app, for example. Then you'll see that it has a navigation where the role is. It has got a parameter called role, and it says default value is requested. This is how we can differentiate between the different roles, and that you have the corresponding heights. Now we've got visualization, for example. Here I haven't put a screenshot of the edit mode, but if you go in edit mode, then you can change, for example, the icon. You see that there's an icon over there. It says now a little big or whatever. You can change that as you'd like to. And then maybe the last really important thing is the translations. So the supported translations are in English, French, and Dutch. And you see that in French we put it change request. What okay, sorry. So text on the left side, translate the text on the right side. I was thinking of it. So voilà. Any questions? I see you thinking, Paul?
No, well, it's a bit strange for me, this part.
Yeah, but don't worry, actually, you shouldn't be there.
I don't have the access as well, so I've never seen this.
Yeah, then you need to have the
reload. Ik had reload en al mijn subaccounts waren geblokkeerd. Nu geladen al bezig.
Yeah, you need to have the right role as well. You need to have the Launchpad administrator role in BTP.
Ah, maar dan is het.
Ja,
nee, dat ben je vragen aan BC.
Ja.
En die
ja. Ja, okay. Okay, then, yeah, exactly. So this is a little bit on the middle line of BC work or stable process automation expert. But yeah. All right. Then let's go to the APIs. The APIs. This is not something I invent. I always go to the API hub. This is something I told you already once, I think. I will go to the API hub and then, yeah, I've got here two. So you see the API hub where you have the inbox API and the REST API, and where you can just select the different things you want to do. So for example, decisions, you want to do REST API decisions, then you know that the API reference only gives this whole service. The only thing you can do with the API. If I go back and I go to workflow, you will see that there is a lot of more possibilities. I can use I can also the user task instances, task definitions, workflow definitions, and so on and so on and so forth. All right. And as I said before, you have got only one OData V2 service, that's the inbox. And then how do you authenticate with the OData V3 is only with OAuth 2 that you can access code flow. And this is the endpoint you will have to contact. This is something I think you're familiar with, Maxime and Lieve, because then we've got the REST APIs, which the most important ones are actually is the workflow and the decisions. Those are the two most important ones. The decision API is actually the API that we're using in the action project to call the decision rules. And workflow is, for example, to download the substitutions.
Ja, zoals deze man.
Yeah. So once again, OAuth2 access code or application flow, and then the production URL, how to call it. Here you see that the production URL is U10, but for Colruyt it's U20-001. That's really important. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Can you maybe edit in a slide here?
Yeah, but this production URL is actually shown here, but when you go to the in the service key, it will show you U20-001.
Yeah, we can't copy paste that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Then we've got the workflow, the different things. You see here the one you wanted to use is the data export. And this is what we covered this morning. Postman example. How do you call how do you fetch, for example, how do you call it? All the workflow, the running instances from workflow. You can also add some queries above, and you can say, yeah, I want just only these, then it will return these values. And then from a Postman example, this is decision rules. This is this was actually the one we covered this morning. This is an example of workflows. But it's yeah, straightforward to be deduced completely from the how do you call it, the documentation. And if it doesn't really help, then we can always fall back to community blogs or developers tutorials. So that's that. Any questions?
How do you know that, if going to the previous slide, that you want the information about the decision rules, that we have to assert in the rules services? Is that the knowledge that you know?
The rule service ID?
The rule service, is that
you mean
an API?
The endpoint?
Yeah, this one, yeah. The endpoint.
Yeah, the endpoint is, I know that because it's mentioned in the documentation. If I go to Just API and I go to decisions, then you will see that the configuration details, it says public runtime rest. So this is one part of the endpoint. And then when I go to the API reference, it says /v2/row services. So that simple as that actually. So that's how I know I can append the whole workflow. And what we mainly do is actually this part. This will be the top level. Actually, we put the top level domain plus public in the destination on VTP, because this is something you don't need. It's always recurring. It's always the same. So I know I can put it in a destination and I can reuse it. Okay. Maybe for you, Vinay, I remember you asked to know how can I fetch the credentials, right? How long does it say? It's taking ages. Oh, fast. So I go to doesn't matter really which super account. Well, it matters because you will be pointing to the super account instance then. But let's say that I want to go to I want to test a API in the syst super account. Then I go to instances and subscriptions, and then I'm going to the running instance of sub process automation. And then I have created a default key, service key, and this service key I can open and see the credentials of it. And then, as I said here, you see here the endpoint API. This is the endpoint API, and this is mainly what we use as the endpoint in destination, because this is our top level domain. And we've got the client ID, client secret. This is your credentials through the OAuth2. And then we've got also the API URL. This is where you will authenticate yourself with the client ID, client secret. It will return a OAuth2 token, and with that OAuth2 token, you can execute your request in the API. Is that clear for you, Vinay? This is valid for all services, right? Yeah. No. So it's only for the services activated on this sub account. So that means that you will have to use another client ID, another client secret if you're using another sub account. Although the so for the so that was just what I said earlier. I can build up. I know I've got the endpoint here. So this is a top level domain. And this is what I need. This is partially what I need. And then when I go back to the API hub, you see here the configuration details. This is the top level domain. I need to append this, the next level domains, public runtime list. And then this is one part. And then when I go to the API reference, then you will see that here above you see /v2/new services, and then that makes this this URL. So just to give you an idea, if I go to the console, this will be the full URL you will be using. Okay, you're welcome. Anybody? Other questions, remarks? Okay. All right, then we can go on, because we're now at the end of the knowledge transfer. It's the open topics that we will discuss now. So there's several open topics that you have listed so far, which Tim has passed. Let it say it like that. So we have got DMS, where we want to clean up documents. Clean up the existing documents at the end of the flow. This means that we need to add an extra validation step in the business process. And what do we need to do is actually delete attachments from the form, right? Then the updates that change these scenarios, you have already done that. That's already in production. So shout out to you. And then you want to know to update the decision rules authorization, how to do that. That's what Tim sent me.
Yeah. For me, it's clear how to do it and like replacing on table.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But it's not clear how to get the updated data from business. For me, it's not clear.
What do you mean?
Yeah, where do they get the link between the supplier and the person? Email, they need to update the data. We have to. So technically, just.
Yeah.
How to change it is clear, but how
do you
should say those change this and this?
Yeah. I understand. I cannot answer that.
You can, from my side.
Yeah. No. That I cannot help with you. Cannot help you with that.
How to do it? It's clear for you, but is it documented also for the rest?
No, not yet documented.
Then maybe we can just go through it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to have some.
I need to append it in the documentation. We made that.
Here the decision table, that's just an export and import of Excel.
Import and then deploy it.
Yeah.
And deploy.
Yeah. Never forget to deploy. And then we will also set up process visibility. Then I'd like also to add some to an open topic if you have too much time. I'd like to address these those two topics. That's something I recommend. You don't need to follow my recommendations. I mean, just my recommendation is to optimize the retry functionality, whereas we don't let the flow fail, where Nikki is canceling all the flows, and just starting a new flow, we can then just, if we program it right, configure it right, we can just with the retry button, we can trigger again the mail artifact, and then it should work. And then maybe another topic is optimize decision rule to work with production versus non-production data. This especially for the email, where we add actually a parameter if is production or not, and then we just change the email address. We can change that. All right. An action plan. Any preferences? How do you want to do it?
Do we have first address the small questions I had? I can't remember them.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, we can certainly. We can certainly. Actually, there is only one question left because the import SWRP from I explained already. Or do you want me to go over?
No, I get that. Yeah.
So that's not not of importance. But then we've got the tricky plan ID. So what I do is it's not really how do you call it? It's not really how we should kosher. It's not the way of working, but my really, if you have bookmarked Launchpad, you will always get here. And let's say I want to create a new request, it will protest and say you need a plan ID, right?
Yeah.
Like this, and you cannot press anything. So I go back and I put here in the site Masada and replace this this part of the URL with what I copied. Of course, I need to see that the slashes are correct. And then this is just a plan ID that we used back as UAT testing, but it doesn't really matter because even if the plan ID, the plan request on sich is removed, it doesn't exist anymore, the logic, the plan navigator logic in UI5, it doesn't check if the plan works or not. It just says, okay, we've got here a panel ID. So I press enter. Okay, it's taking some time because I'm on the hotspot. And then you will see that the URL changed. And so the plan ID is loaded in the program if you want in the background. And now I can cheat. I cheated the system.
But then it's possible that you see, like when you go in the monitor, you look up this plan ID, you see different things through each other.
Yeah. So the thing is, exactly. If you know the plan ID, you could recreate different requests. But the thing is, if I submit now a request, then the plan ID will be purged. So you need a new plan ID to submit a request. So you need to update this URL
with a new one.
No, you can do the same. You could do like this. Omdat de URL niet werkt, wacht. You need to go like this one, and then I could try again. But that means that I've created now the second time a request with the same plan ID if we want to have look on the process visibility. On reporting. But in production you will never do that. I hope you will do that. And in deving case is less important. It's important nevertheless, but less important.
Yeah, we could do it to test the issue from last week for production. Because we could not simulate it. We didn't have access to Plano. And therefore we could do it by doing that to see that value hubs were not working.
Yeah. Well, the value hubs were also not working when you went to the actions project. Then you saw that the actions were not responding as well. But I'm gonna just put this. How do I put this best?
What is the biggest risk if you do this?
You're getting multiple requests with the same Planon ID, and that is the biggest risk because you're using that Planon ID to create your products or change.
SAP there is no.
That I don't know by heart. I don't know if there is product created by Planon. I know there is a Planon ID coupled with a product request, but I don't know if it's product request coupled with Planon. That I don't know.
No, I don't think so. The Planon ID is not used in the creation area, I think.
No, I don't know. I don't know. We need to have a look at the data.
That one case where we had a request where the two materials were mixed up.
Yeah.
Would that be possible? Something to do with somebody just shared a link or a.
No, and that's I actually responded to your request. I don't know if you have seen my response.
I didn't see it.
No. And do you see my replies? Because I always you log tickets on the MS portal.
I see the replies.
Yeah, and I answered it, and I answered because I thought, I've looked it up, and this is the only. This was the request that the two instances that you gave me. They were the only ones who had the duplicate values. So I don't understand how that happened. I don't understand how also the person did, and I want to know if that person did something different than usual, or remarked something different than usual, where we could reproduce it, because I cannot even imagine how to reproduce it.
Mm-hmm.
So I need some more feedback on that.
I don't see the mail. I need to log in again, or I get a notification in the mail on the ticket. If there's an update on the ticket, do we get a notification in mail?
Yeah.
No, I did not get it. I think. Oh, wait. Because it's not always a request hashtag.
Yeah, and a number, and then, yeah.
I have one, but it's about the other thing, about how to deploy.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm just gonna. I can show you the response, and there's no secret, or maybe a little bit, but I will just only.
Right, deleted it.
I think this is the this is the issue. I think well.
Yeah.
And the contact person is you are the contact person.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've looked it up. Process with Planon ID number 16 has been corrupted with data from process with Planon ID 30. The corruption of process with Planon ID happened within the subflow MRP, which is already really weird because you're not submitting any data, you're just approving, yeah, I've done these things and that's okay. Yeah. And it's that Subflow MRP, it receives the correct data, but submits corrupted data. I don't know how that could be possible. The Subflow MRP was started on the 17th of April at 9:30 and completed at 17, the same day at 10 in the morning, 10:11. Then 24 other subflows from project type ZSTK has been processed during the times mentioned in point 4, except for the in point 4, So, except for the mentioned issue, no other subprocess has been corrupted. So I've checked all those other subflows, and that's the only one that has been corrupted. So I don't know how. And so the conclusion is one subflow has been corrupted. I did an extensive search on all workflows, and this is the only subprocess that is being corrupted with data from process with Pano ID 30. There was no external API tampering, otherwise I would have seen it in the logs. And the only reasonable explanation that I can just provide with the feedback you gave me is, yeah, a corrupt cache in the browser. But then on the other side, how is that possible if you complete 24 other flows and then say, okay, I don't know how that works. I cannot just, that's the only explanation I can think of. And that's why I wanted to know if you could retrace with the end user if he or she, I don't know, did something different than usual, if he or she, that person did she remark something different, or he, did they report, was this only one time, or did it happen several times?
No, it's a one time.
Yeah.
But you had used and how it's from months ago. So.
Yeah, exactly. This is also a little bit bad timing, because you said you didn't have access to the Flexo admin portal.
Yeah, the time.
Yeah, you didn't have it. Okay. So yeah, I don't know how or what, and indeed, if this happens in the future, please tell me, because this is something really strange and really important. Because if that happens multiple times, then we've got an error. We've got a big issue, I think.
Yeah, standalone case. So
okay.
Close it for now.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe she got the test URL.
Yeah, but you couldn't do it because it's MRP flow, so you're not requesting, you're not submitting a new workflow. You're just completing a workflow. So I don't know how it happened. Could be that there was a man in the middle attack or something like that. I mean, that's a white LP, but that's strange, right? It's really strange. Because otherwise I would have also seen it in the logs that there was an API change. Magnet.
I thought maybe it could be something like the user asks, how do I get to the Launchpad? And you just copy the URL, pass it on to his colleague. The other one opens it, but still has the data from another thing.
Yeah, but the thing is that the flow has been submitted. So it should be processed. Or no, there were at least 24 other flows processed. So I don't understand.
Yeah, but it's possible these 24 from even not users.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, voilà. I don't understand it.
You should find out why didn't I get this mail? Yes.
Yeah, I think if I go to the edit mode, yeah, requested by, and you're Paul, you're the contact person. And that's the correct name, right? It's not the.
Yeah, but an email address.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. That's flexible for me. I mean, for me, that handles that for me. All right. Let's go back then to the topics. What do we want to do first? So, as I understand it correctly, this one is not it's not really an issue in SBPA, but more an issue of an organization where the business needs to provide us the latest MDL list. So I can scan that as well. Maybe I wanted to first share the workaround URL. Now I'm just thinking, where can I put it best that you remember it? Do I put it in the workflow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Voilà. And now you will always trigger a new how do you call it, new request with
that one.
Yeah, that one. The transformator, the logic behind the catches the pattern ID if it does a check on it.
I don't think so. I tried with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it worked.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Might be a limit if you make it too big, then it won't work anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really tested it, so in theory it could be. You could put anything you like. I think you could even put 1.00. All right. So let's get back to the open topics. Maybe we can keep the DMS for tomorrow, and or we can do the DMS today and we set up the process visibility tomorrow. It doesn't really matter to me. What do you prefer?
Maybe what you think would take this amount of time.